In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Oh, what do they ask one another of the great news, that in which they differ? Nay, they shall soon come to know. Nay, indeed, they shall soon come to know. Have we not made the earth as a wide expanse, and the mountains as pegs? And we created you in pairs, and we made your sleep for repose. And we made the night as a covering, and we made the day for seeking livelihood. And we built above you 7 firmaments, and we made therein a blazing lamp. And we sent down from the clouds water in abundance, that we may bring forth thereby grain and plants, and gardens of luxurious growth. Verily, the day of sorting out is a day appointed, the day when the trumpet shall be blown, and you shall come forth in groups, and the heaven shall be opened and become wide as gates, and the mountains shall be set in motion, as if they were a mirage. Surely hell lies in ambush, for the transgressors a destination, to abide therein for ages. Nothing cool shall they taste therein, nor any drink, except a boiling fluid and pus, a fitting recompense for their evil. Surely they used not to look forward to the reckoning for their deeds, and they rejected our signs with strong denial. And everything have we recorded in a book. So taste you the fruit of your deeds, for no increase shall we grant you, but in punishment. Surely for the righteous there is a victory, gardens enclosed, and vineyards, and comely maidens with the freshness of youth equal in age, and a cup overflowing. No vanity shall they hear therein, nor untruth. A reward from your Lord, an award sufficing. Lord of the heavens and the earth, and all between the two, the all-merciful, with whom none shall have power to argue. The day on which the Spirit and the angels shall stand arrayed, they shall speak not except whom the All-Merciful gives permission, and who speak what is right. That day is certain, whoever then desires may take refuge with his Lord. Surely we have warned you of a punishment near, the day when man shall see what his 2 hands have sent forth, and the unbeliever shall say, Oh, would that I were dust. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By those angels who tear out the souls of the wicked with violence, by those angels who gently draw out the souls of the blessed, and by those who glide along on errands of mercy, then press forward as in a race, and those who manage the affair, the day on which everything that can be in commotion will be in violent commotion, followed by another mighty convulsion. Hearts that day will be in agitation. Cast down will be their eyes. They say now, What, shall we indeed be returned to our former state? What, when we shall have become rotten hones? They said, That then will be a losing return, but it shall be only a single blast. When, behold, they shall be in the awakened state. Has the story of Moses reached you? When his Lord called to him in the holy valley of Tuwa, Go to Pharaoh, surely he has transgressed all bounds. And say to him, Would you that you should be purified from sin? and that I guide you to your Lord, so you should fear him? Then did Moses show him the great sign. But Pharaoh rejected it and disobeyed guidance. Further, he turned his back, striving hard against Allah. Then he collected his men and made a proclamation, and said, I am your Lord, Most High. So Allah seized him for an exemplary punishment in the hereafter and in this life. Surely in that is a lesson for him who fears Allah. Is the creation of you harder, or the heaven he built? He raised its vault and regulated it. And he made dark its night and brought forth its daylight. And the earth, after that he spread it out. He brought forth from it its water and its pasture. And the mountains, he set them firm, for use and convenience to you and your cattle. But when the great calamity comes, that day man shall remember what he strove for, and hellfire shall be manifest for him who sees. Then as for him who transgressed, and had preferred the life of this world, then surely hellfire will be the abode. And as for him who feared his Lord's presence and restrained the soul from the low desires, then surely the garden will be the abode. They ask you about the hour, when will it come to pass? Wherein are you concerned with the declaration thereof? With your Lord is the limit fixed therefore. You are but a warner to him who fears it. It shall seem to them on the day when they behold it, as though they tarried not in their graves, but an evening or a forenoon. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. He frowned and turned away, because there came to him the blind man. And what would make you know that he might spiritually purify himself, or become reminded so that the reminder might profit him? As to one who regards himself self-sufficient, to him do you address yourself, though it is no blame on you if he would not spiritually purify himself. But as to him who comes to you striving hard, and he fears Allah in his heart, of him were you unmindful. Nay, surely it is an admonishment. So let him who pleases mind it. It is in books held greatly in honor, exalted in dignity, kept pure and holy, in the hand of scribes, honorable and pious and just. Cursed be man, how ungrateful is he! Of what thing did he create him? Of a sperm drop he created him, then moulded him in due proportions. Then he made the way easy for him. Then he caused him to die, then assigned to him a grave. Then, when it is his will, he will raise him to life again. Nay, but man has not done what he commanded him. Then let man look to his food, that we pour down the water, pouring it in abundance, and we split the earth into fragments, and we produced therein corn, and grapes, and grasses, and the olive and the palm, and gardens dense with trees, and fruits and fodder, provision for you and for your cattle. And when the deafening cry comes, the day on which a man shall flee from his brother, and his mother and his father, and from his wife and his children, each one of them that day will have concern enough to occupy him. Some faces that day will be bright, laughing, rejoicing. And some faces that day will be dust-stained. Blackness will cover them. Those are they who are unbelievers, the wicked. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. When the sun is folded up, and when the stars darken, and when the mountains shall be set in motion, and when the pregnant camels shall be neglected, and when the wild beasts shall be herded together, and when the seas boil over, and when the souls are reunited like with like, and when the girl child buried alive is asked, for what sin she was slain, and when the scrolls of the deeds of mankind are spread, and when the heaven shall be unveiled, and when hell is set ablaze, and when the garden is brought nigh for the righteous, every soul shall then know what it has produced of its deeds. No, I swear by the orbiting planets that run their course and set, and by the night when it ends, and by the morning when it breathes. Surely it is the word of a gracious messenger, endowed with power in the presence of the Lord of the universe, one to be obeyed, moreover, faithful in trust. And, O people, your companion, our messenger, is not mad. Indeed, he saw him, the angel Gabriel, on the clear horizon. And he does not withhold concerning the unseen. Nor is it the word of the accursed Satan. To what place then will you go? Surely it, the Quran, is naught but a reminder to all the worlds. For whoever of you who would go straight, but you cannot will except as Allah wills, the Lord of the worlds. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. When the sky is cleft asunder, and when the planets are scattered, and when the seas burst forth, and when the graves are overturned, emptied, every soul shall know what it has sent forward and what it has held back. O man, what has seduced you away from your Lord, the Gracious, who created you and fashioned you and proportioned you in perfection? In whatever form he pleased, he constituted you. Nay, but you disbelieve in the day of reckoning. And surely there are watchers over you, honorable scribes. They know and understand whatever you do. Surely the righteous shall be in bliss, and surely the wicked shall be in blazing fire, which they shall enter on the day of reckoning, and never shall they be absent therefrom. And what makes you know what the day of reckoning is? Again, what makes you know what the day of reckoning is? The day on which no soul shall have anything for another soul, and the command that day shall be wholly Allah's. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Woe to the defrauders, who when they take a measure from people, take it in full, but when they give by measure or weight to men, they cause loss, give less than what is due. Do they not think that they shall be raised to life again? For a great day, the day when all mankind shall stand before the Lord of the worlds? Nay, most surely the record of the wicked is preserved in Sijjeen. And what informs you of what Sijjeen is? It is a register fully inscribed. Woe that day to the deniers, those who deny the day of judgment. And none denies it but every transgressor, the sinner. When our signs are recited to him, he says, myths of the ancients. Nay, rather what they used to do has put rust upon their hearts. Nay, most surely on that day they shall be debarred from their Lord. Then they will enter the fire of hell. Then it will be said to them, this is that which you used to deny. Nay, verily the record of the righteous is preserved in Liye. And what explains to you what Liye is? It is a written record, which is witnessed by the ones nearest to Allah. Surely the righteous will be in bliss. Sitting on thrones of dignity, they will command a sight of all things. You will recognize in their faces the radiance of bliss. Their thirst will be slaked with pure drink sealed, whose seal is musk, and for that let all those strive who strive for bliss, and whose mixture is of tasneem, a spring from which drink the ones nearest to Allah. Surely those who committed sin used to laugh at those who believed, and when they passed by them, they were winking at one another in mockery. And when they returned to their people, they returned jesting. And when they saw them, they said, surely these have gone astray, while they had not been sent as guardians over them. So on this day of judgment, the believers will laugh at the unbelievers. Sitting on thrones of dignity, they will command a sight of all things. Have not the unbelievers been paid back for what they used to do? In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. When the sky is rent asunder, and obeys its Lord, and it must, and when the earth is flattened out, and casts forth what is within it, and becomes empty, and obeys its Lord, and it must. O man, surely you are ever toiling on towards your Lord, painfully toiling until you meet him. Then he who is given his record in his right hand, soon he will be reckoned with by an easy reckoning, and he will return unto his people in joy. But he who is given his record behind his back, soon he will cry for perdition, and enter a blazing fire. Truly, he was erstwhile joyful among his people. Truly, he thought that he would never return to his Lord. Yes, indeed, surely his Lord was ever watchful of him. But nay, I swear by the glow of the sunset, and by the night and that which it gathers together in one herd, and the moon when it grows full, that you shall most certainly enter one stage after another. What then is the matter with them that they do not believe? And when the Quran is recited to them, they fail to prostrate. Nay, those who disbelieve reject it. And Allah knows best what they keep secret in their breasts. So announce to them a painful punishment, except those who believe and work righteous deeds. For them is a reward unending. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the sky full of constellations, by the promised day of judgment, by the witness and the witnessed, Cursed were the makers of the pit of fire, of the fuel-fed fire kept burning, when they sat by it, and they were witnesses of what they did to the believers. They were vengeful towards them for no other reason than that they believed in Allah, the Almighty, the Praiseworthy, Him to whom belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth, and Allah is witness over everything. Surely, as for those who persecute or draw into temptation believing men and believing women, yet repent not, for them is the punishment of hell, and for them is the punishment of the burning fire. Surely, as for those who believe and do good deeds, for them are gardens underneath which rivers flow. That is the great salvation, the fulfillment of all desires. Surely, the grip of your Lord is severe. It is He who creates everything from the very beginning and causes to return. And He is all-forgiving, all-loving. Lord of the Arsh, throne, the glorious, the doer of whatever He wills. Has the story reached you of the forces of Pharaoh and the tribe of Thamud? And yet the unbelievers persist in rejecting the truth. But Allah encompasses them from every point. Nay, it is a glorious Quran, inscribed in a tablet preserved. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the sky and the night visitant therein. And what will explain to you what the night visitant is? It is the star of piercing brightness. There is not a soul but has a protector over it. So let man contemplate on from what he is created. He is creased from a drop emitted, proceeding from between the backbone and the ribs. Surely He is able to bring him back to life. On the day when hidden things will be made manifest, man will have no strength and no helper. By the rain-giving heaven, the returning rain, and by the earth splitting with plants. Most surely, it, the Quran, is a decisive word, and it is not a thing for amusement. Surely they are plotting a scheme against the truth, and I am also planning a scheme against them. Therefore, grant a delay to the unbelievers, give respite to them gently for a while. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Praise the name of your Lord, the Most High, He who has created and fashioned all things, and He who has determined and guided, and He who brings out the pasturage, then makes it dried up, dust-colored. We will make you recite, so you shall not forget. Save what Allah wills, surely He knows the manifest and what is hidden. And we will ease you your way to a state of ease. Therefore do mention, for mentioning does profit mankind. He who fears will heed, but the most reprobate will shun it. Who will enter the great fire? Then he will neither die therein, nor will he live. Indeed, he alone who has purified himself shall succeed, and remembers the name of his Lord and prays. Nay, you prefer the life of this world, while the world to come is better and more lasting. Surely, this is in the earlier scriptures. the scriptures of Abraham and Moses. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Has the story reached you of Ghashiyah, the overwhelming event that covers all? Some faces that day will be downcast, laboring hard, weary, entering into blazing fire. They will be given to drink from a boiling hot spring. No food will there be for them, but of dari, a bitter and thorny plant, loathsome in smell, which will neither nourish nor satisfy hunger. Other faces that day will be joyful, pleased with their striving, in a garden on high, where they shall hear no word of vanity. Therein is a fountain flowing, therein are thrones raised high, and goblets placed ready, and cushions set in rows, and rich carpets all spread out. Do they not look at camels, how they are created, and at the sky, how it is raised high, and at the mountains, how they are fixed firm, and at the earth, how it is spread out? Therefore do you give admonition, for you are one to admonish. You are not one to manage men's affairs. But whoever turns back and disbelieves, Allah will punish him with a mighty punishment. Surely to us will be their return. Then surely upon us will be the taking of their account. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the break of dawn, and the 10 nights, by the even and the odd, and by the night when it departs. Is there not in this an oath for those who have sense? Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the Ad people, of the city of Iram with lofty pillars, the like of which were not created among other cities? And the Thamud people who hewed out the huge rocks in the valley, and Pharaoh of the many stakes, who all transgressed in the land, and made much corruption therein. Therefore did your Lord pour on them a scourge of diverse chastisement. Surely your Lord is ever watchful. And as for man, whenever his Lord tries him and honors him, and blesses him, he says, My Lord has honored me. But when he tries him and straightens for him his subsistence, he says, My Lord has disgraced me. Nay, but you honor not the orphans, nor do you encourage one another to feed the needy. And you devour the inheritance all with greed, and you love wealth with an ardent love. Nay, when the earth is crushed with crushing upon crushing, and comes the command of your Lord, and the angels in ranks arrayed, and hell that day is brought face to face. On that day will man remember, but how will that remembrance profit him? He will say, Would that I had forwarded good deeds for this life of mine. For none can punish like his punishment on that day, nor can anyone bind like his binding. It will be said to some, O you serene soul, come back to your Lord well pleased with him, and well pleasing him. So enter among my servants, and enter into my garden. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Nay, I swear by this city, Mecca, and you are an inhabitant of this city, and by the Begetter and whom he begot. Certainly, we have created man to be in distress. Does he think that no one has power over him? He says, I have squandered wealth abundant. Does he think that no one sees him? Have we not made for him 2 eyes, and a tongue, and 2 lips, and showed him the 2 ways of good and evil? But he would not attempt the uphill road. And what will make you comprehend what the uphill road is? It is freeing of a slave or a captive, or the feeding on a day of hunger, of an orphan near of kin, or to the indigent down in the dust. Then will he be of those who believe and enjoin on each other to patience, and enjoin on each other mercy. These are the people of the right hand. And those who disbelieve in our signs, they are the people of the left hand. On them shall be a fire closed over. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the sun and its brightness, by the moon when it follows it, reflects the sun's light, by the day when it unfolds its glory, by the night when it enshrouds it, by the heaven and he who made it, by the earth and he who spread it, and by the soul and he who perfected it, then inspired it to understand what is wrong and what is right for it. Indeed, he succeeds who purifies it, and indeed he fails who corrupts it. The Thamud people rejected their prophet through their inordinate wrongdoing. When rose up the most reprobate of them, then the messenger of Allah, Salih, said to them, It is a she-camel of Allah, and bar her not from having her drink. But they rejected him and hamstrung her, so their Lord crushed them for their sin, and leveled them with the ground. And for him is no fear of its consequences. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the night when it enshrouds, by the day when it brightens up, by him who created the male and the female. Verily, the ends you strive for are diverse. Then as for him who gives in charity and fears Allah, and in all sincerity testifies to the best, we will ease him to the state of ease. But he who is a greedy miser thinks himself self-sufficient, and gives lie to the best. We will ease him to the path of affliction, and his wealth will not avail when he perishes. Verily, we take upon ourselves to guide, and certainly to us belongs the end, the hereafter, and the beginning, the first life. Therefore, I warn you of a fire that blazes. None shall reach it but the reprobate, who gives the lie to truth and turns away, and from which shall the most devoted to Allah be kept away, who gives away his wealth, purifying himself, and bestows no favor on anyone for the sake of reward, but only the desire to seek for the countenance of his Lord, the Most High, and he shall soon be well pleased. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the glorious morning light, and by the night when it is still, your Lord has neither forsaken you nor has he become displeased. And surely the hereafter will be better for you than the present life. And soon your Lord will grant you, and you shall be well pleased. Did he not find you an orphan and sheltered you? And he found you wandering and guided you. And he found you in need and made you free of need. Therefore, treat not the orphans with harshness. And for the one who asks, repulse not. And as for the bounties of your Lord, do proclaim it. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Have we not expanded for you your breast, and we removed from your burden, which weighed down your back, and we exalted for you your reputation? Then surely with hardship comes ease. Surely with hardship comes ease. So when you have finished with your immediate task, still strive hard, then toil, and to your Lord turn all your attention. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the fig and the olive, and Mount Tur of Sinin, and this city of security, Mecca, we have indeed created man in the best of molds. Then we render him the lowest of the low. Save those who believe and do righteous deeds, for them is a reward unending. What then makes you reject thereafter the last judgment? Is not Allah the most just of judges? In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Read, proclaim, in the name of your Lord who created man out of a clot of congealed blood. Read, proclaim, and your Lord is the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man that which he knew not. Nay, most surely man does transgress all bounds. For he thinks himself self-sufficient. Verily to your Lord is the return of all. Have you seen him who forbids? A servant when he prays? Have you seen whether he is on the road of guidance, or enjoins piety? Have you seen if he rejects and turns away? Does he not know that Allah surely sees? Nay, if he desist not, we will certainly seize him by the forelock, a lying, sinful forelock. Then let him call for help to his council of comrades. We will call on the angels of punishment to deal with him. Nay, heed him not, but prostrate yourself and draw nigh to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Surely we sent it, the Quran, down on the night of honor. And what makes you know what the night of honor is? The night of honor is better than 1,000 months. The angels and the Spirit descend therein by their Lord's permission for every affair. Peace, it is till the rising of the dawn. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Those who reject truth from among the people of the book and the polytheists were not going to depart from their ways until there should come to them clear evidence. A messenger from Allah reciting pure scriptures, wherein are laws right and straight. Nor were those divided who were given the book, except after the clear evidence had come to them. And they were ordered no more than that they should worship Allah alone, being sincere to Him in obedience, upright, to keep up prayer, and pay zakat, poor rate, and that is the religion right and straight. Surely those who disbelieve from among the people of the book and the polytheists shall be in the fire of hell, therein dwelling forever. They are the worst of all creatures. Surely those who believe and do righteous deeds, they are the best of all creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be gardens of eternity, beneath which rivers flow, therein dwelling forever. Allah is well pleased with them, and they are well pleased with Him. That is for him who fears his Lord and cherisher. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. When the earth shall quake with a mighty quaking, and the earth shall cast forth her burdens, and man shall say, distressed, what has befallen her? On that day she will recount all her news. For that your Lord will have given her inspiration. On that day people shall come forth in groups to be shown their deeds. So whoever has done an atom's weight of good shall behold it, and whoever has done an atom's weight of evil shall behold it. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By the panting chargers, and by those that sprint striking fire with their hooves, and by those which charge at dawn, and stir thereby the dust aloft, and penetrate into the midst of the enemy en masse. Surely man is ungrateful to his Lord, and surely he is a witness to that. And most surely he is tenacious in the love of wealth. Does he not know when that which is in the graves is raised, and that which is in the breasts is made known? Surely their Lord is aware of them on that day. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. The calamity. What is the calamity? And what makes you aware of what the calamity is? It is a day whereon men will be like moths scattered about, and the mountains will be like carded wool. So he whose scales of good deeds are heavy, he will be in a life well-pleasing. And he whose scales of good deeds are light, then his abode will be Hawiyah, the abyss. And what makes you know what that abyss is? It is a raging fire. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Engages you your vying in exuberance, until you visit the graves. Nay, you shall soon know. Again, nay, you shall soon know. Nay, were you to know with the knowledge of certainty, you would beware. You shall certainly see the blazing fire. Again, you will surely see it with certainty of sight. Then, on that day, you will surely be questioned about the bounty. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. By time, surely man is in loss, save those who believe and do good deeds, and enjoin on each other truth, and enjoin on each other patience. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Woe to every backbiter, slanderer, who amasses wealth and hoards it, thinking that his wealth will make him immortal. Nay, he will certainly be hurled into the Hutama. And what makes you know what the Hutama is? It is a fire kindled by Allah, which rises above the hearts. Surely it will be closed over upon them, in columns outstretched. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the companions of the elephant? Did he not make their stratagem go awry? and he sent upon them birds in flocks, pelting them with stones of petrified clay. Thus he made them like straw eaten up. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. For stabilizing and unifying the Quraysh, we maintain for them their trading caravans by winter and summer. So let them worship the Lord of this house, Kaaba, who fed them against hunger and secured them from fear. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Have you seen him who denies the final judgment? Then such is the man who repulses the orphan with harshness, and encourages not the feeding of the indigent. So woe to those praying ones, who are careless of their prayers, those who want but to be seen of men, but refuse to supply even neighborly needs. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Surely, O Muhammad, we have given you abundance of good, Kawthar. Therefore to your Lord turn in prayer and sacrifice. Surely your enemy is the one who will be without offspring. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, O you disbelievers, I worship not what you worship, nor do you worship whom I worship, neither shall I worship what you worship, nor will you worship whom I worship. To you be your religion, and to me my religion. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. When there comes the help of Allah and victory, and you see people entering Allah's religion in multitudes, then celebrate the praise of your Lord and seek His forgiveness, for surely He is oft returning to mercy. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. May the hands of Abu Lahab perish. May he himself perish. His wealth avails him not, neither what he had earned. Soon will he roast in a flaming fire, and his wife, the bearer of the firewood. Upon her neck, a rope of twisted palm fiber. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, He, Allah, is one. Allah, the Eternal. He begets not, nor is He begotten, and there is none like unto Him. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, I take refuge with the Lord of the Dawn, from the evil of what He has created, and from the evil of the dark night when it comes, and from the evil of those who blow on knots, practice secret arts, and from the evil of the envious one when he envies. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Say, I take refuge with the Lord of mankind, the King of mankind, the God of mankind, from the evil of the slinking whisperer, who whispers evil into the hearts of mankind, from among the jinn and mankind,